Sup shitters, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today I have the pleasure of checking out a full beat tape from an artist named Delight, an actor named Delight, and this is the Stars EP. Switching over to here, this is a hip-hop laced EP laid out in beat tape format, made with an SP4046 turntables and a mixer, with cover art by Kaya Design. Fantastic. I haven't actually listened to something like this before, if not for a while. So I'm very excited to hear what Stars is going to be like. Again, that cover art is really delightful. We're going to listen to this from start to finish, and we're going to hear what we think.
For your listening enjoyment, we now present our first selection.
Interesting intro with that vocal sample and the kind of LP warmth to it. That little bit of scratch. Ooh.
This is brief and practical, but complete in every detail. It covers an explanation of what really is. Describes some of the things that can be done with it, and answers.
What a fascinating groove to start a track off with, man. I dig it. You got this kind of vocal sample of an old-timey dude giving a narration. You got the wow kind of synth work and the bass.
Questions about
Hip-hop.
some of the common misconceptions concerning it.
The bass is nice and crisp.
Be given an understanding of the various stages of.
There's a sense of crispness to this. A crispness.
A simple but effective technique will be demonstrated. A simple but effective technique.
That turntablism is pretty dope, man. I'm starting to like it. Because it's one thing to be able to move back and forth with the tracks, but it's another thing to make it sound musical and for it to rhythmically make sense. These synths, because wow kind of sounds like it is out of space. It sounds incredibly ominous, like you're in for a really bad time. I'm liking how fragmented the percussion is. There's sort of a sense of minimalism to it. It's a very organic performance. I'll put the cover art up here in full, man, so you can just see it for the rest of the... Oh no, it covers the rest of the page. Oh, that's awkward. So we're fairly comfortable with this kind of main... Kind of like it'd be a two chord harmony here. And with that bass line being repeated. Oh? Yeah, we're comfortable with this sort of main musical theme that's been instantiated within this first track. I think what is that called? See, I don't know enough about turntablism to sort of say the proper terminology for it. I want to learn more about it because this is fascinating how he's operating at the moment. Oh? A really fascinating, engaging introduction though. I wasn't expecting something like this to get started with, but it fits the theme of space. I can imagine someone going through the different galaxies and stuff like that, traversing around with a sense of trepidation. Oh, it's finished.
What's your one purpose in life?
To explode, of course.
To explode, what?
9, 8, 7, 6,
What are we doing here?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fascinating. I'm sorry, I know I keep pausing it. I just want to say how fantastic it is to have these transitions with like these sampled sections here. It's good to have that break between. Oh, completely different vibe to the first section. Oh, there's a real sense of... What is that melody? It kind of sounds like it's resolving towards the end, but then the next note goes up like a half tone or something like that and goes off on the chromatic. Oh no, that's fine. Oh no, that was okay. There's a kind of like filtered kind of laugh track. Oh, it's so unusual and so interesting. This music is fascinating. This is very creative. I haven't heard anything like this in the time I've been doing reviews. Okay, you got some filter work there. Oh yeah, we got a low pass getting involved there. So Delight's really a fan of like creating a theme at the start of a song after like maybe having like a vocal sample or something like that with the 10, 9, 8 countdown. And then he just rides that theme, kind of builds on it, changes things up, cuts it up a little bit in parts, adds bits, sort of adds intensity there. It's cool. It's cool. Each of these tracks so far has had its own unique identity, but they also work well together. That drum there has a nice resonance to it. For a B section within this track, nice. Because we've mostly just got the kick, snare, and sort of cymbals in this, with some occasional kind of gongish drum kind of some like there's a certain type of drum that I'm thinking of, like a kettle drum? Like a specific type of drum which had a doom kind of sound to it that I'm thinking of. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. The inputs within the actual percussion itself are very simple, but that allows you just to kind of relax and you don't have to sort of worry about being taken out of the groove by any sort of crazy fills or anything. This second part kind of sounds like we're getting used to being in space with Among the Stars. That modulation there is creepy as heck, man. Is that the aliens laughing? Ooh, those sci-fi vibes coming from those synth strings. I can like hear the hip hop influences, but I love that we're not. I'm loving how strong an instrumental this is. So again, this is different. This is more similar to the first part of this mixtape than the second, but you know, when the sample says, "Can anyone hear me?" at the beginning, the instrumentation, the performance illustrates that anxiety quite well. I'm well impressed with this. And again, that drum line is repeated. Oh. Those vocal slices, man, they're sick. Again, it's those little touches like having that part there that kind of, it's like, oh, something new's happening. And you can kind of nod your head to it and groove to it. And then it kind of carries you into the second half of the track. It kind of brings in those sort of hip hop rap samples with these sci-fi era kind of vibes that have been given off by this pads and the synth basses and stuff. I love that it sounds like a lot of old kind of like space and films, and I really dig the authenticity of the sampling here. Again, being able to do that requires an immense amount of skill. I know this because, I mean, I've done like a tiny little bit of it myself, a tiny little bit of turntablism. And I know it takes a tremendous amount of control to be able to do that, to then know the tracks that well, to then know exactly how far you need to move them. It's clear to me that Delight has been doing this for quite a while, and his skill on the decks is showing within this performance. The talent's real, man. The harmony isn't resolving. It's very tense. You're wondering what's happening next. It builds anticipation. Again, and completely different. Isn't this what you want to hear? Whoa, whoa, I can hear that. That's some pretty quick work there, man. Because it's not just sort of being able to sort of like cut and bring the tracks in when you need to. It's also the rhythm in play, like understanding the difference between like quarters and eighths and triplets and sixteenths. And making, there's a lot of music theory involved in this alongside the work that goes into becoming proficient as a turntablist. This DJing stuff is tight, man. Because this is the right place to start bringing those chops in. You want to sort of like bring people in slowly so that they get used to the overall sort of like personality of the track. And then once you've got their trust a little bit, that's when you're already like halfway through. So you're like, okay, what else is going to happen? And then you bring up the intensity with your performance, with you really show what you're made of, and people are like, wow, this is even crazier than before. I've got a sort of interesting vibrato at the end there. That was incredible. I would love to see a live performance of Delight doing that.
Let's have some music in here.
Okay. Those kind of like descending arpeggios. Like blah, 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 blah. Got like kind of a video game-ish kind of vibe to it, you know, like Pac-Man or something like that. And just bringing it down, bringing the energy level down for this vocal sample, having a break, allowing the listener to take a moment to process what's been going on there. I love these kind of electronic sort of spacey elements combined with this hip hop and rap, and this stuff is so dope, man. I wish maybe there is a lot of this around and I'm just not aware of it, but I feel like I've been missing out. I'm just trying to figure out how he would do all
The
this.
final step, relaxing.
Oh, that's getting pretty wild. Delight? I wasn't expecting this. What is going on with this one? I quite enjoy this. Oh, this was very special. These woodwinds. Again, you've still got those percussive elements and the tonality to them that we're familiar with, but this sample. Oh, it's so beautiful. You guys, extended harmonies happening on the clean guitars. This jazzy complexity. It's so chill. It is so lo-fi and chill. Scratching, dude. Scratching is wild. Okay, repeating this sort of stanza for a second time. It's chord progression for a second time, but that's cool. It's cool. I'm assuming that something will change in the third. It does look to be a little bit of a dip in this third half. Ooh, okay, we got a tail. Is there a double bass in there? There's a little click sometimes, which is kind of sick as well. What a way to finish this EP! Stars! Full beat tape. Seal of approval. To me, this end of this EP is kind of like you've gone through the stress and the frenzy of going into space. You at first were sort of like, I don't know what any of this is. You're in the great beyond, you know? You don't know what's what, and then suddenly you go places and you get a bit freaked out as per the middle part, and then suddenly it's like, oh, okay, I'm kind of digging this, gonna, you know, you're grooving along to it, and finally this part is you become at peace with the concept of being in space and stars. Oh, stunning. Phenomenal. What an interesting journey this was. This was a treat. I can understand why Delight is getting a fair bit of attention, like a fair bit of attention on his SoundCloud, as well as, you know, 2,600 plays is nothing to laugh at, man. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. A lot of people struggle to get 10 listens nowadays. This guy is gaining some traction with this release. And I think that Delight deserves it. Really clever musician. Clever. Again, forgive my ignorance. I'm not sure to say DJ or turntablist. I know the term for it is turntablism. I know the scratching and stuff like that. This is a style of music I want to learn more about. Hopefully I haven't said anything too egregious or incorrect within this. But from what I can tell from the musical elements, from like the combination of the different parts, because there's about 5 different parts in this song, I adore the direction that it took. I adore the restraint on display from Delight to know exactly when to keep the repeats slow and when to let the music play and when to really get into it with all the finagling, finicky stuff like he did in around this section here when he's doing, you know, that kind of really fast, like scratching, like I adore it. I think that that shows a lot of not only sort of skill and acumen within the instrument, what obviously in terms of the performance with the SPO404, turntables and a mixer. It's also I think a sense of composition or songwriting maturity. It's knowing what's best for the beat tape as opposed to what's best for your own sort of like he's trying to do what's best for the music. it illustrates clearly how his sort of thoughts on stars. I got a feeling of going through space. I think I described the journey as I interpret it before. And it was just a lovely time existing within that. And I think that's supposed to be the magic of a mixtape like this, right? Mixtape or a beat tape, is you're supposed to go on a journey with it. It's not supposed to take you out of the journey at any point. I'll be honest and say I probably could have listened through Stars from start to finish without getting bored. It's a shame that I can't listen to it for the first time ever again. But for people watching this review, hopefully you'll go show Delight some love, and hopefully you'll listen through this in your own time and have a great time with it. I can't vouch for where the samples came from that we used, but I think that the parts chosen for this mix were fantastic. They all sounded like they could work together. There was care taken to put little transitions in between parts that were quite different so that you understood as a listener why we were changing the emotional content of the music or the groove or the tempo of it. There was reason given for it. And it made the transition between it as a whole, the whole 13 minutes. Because remember, this is just one really long song, right? If you look at it like that, it's one really long track. And for 13 minutes to be engaging, it's incredibly difficult to, especially when you don't have a vocal focus. Like if you don't have a vocal focus and you're just relying on the instrumentation, 30 minutes can be a little bit long. But again, Delight carried it. And I'm really proud of Delight for the work that they did on this Stars EP. Excellent effort. I totally vouch for this artist's musical ability, and I honestly wish them the best of luck in future with their musical endeavors. Though I don't think they'll need my luck because they already appear to be making their own, and it's working out for them quite well. Thank you again for checking out Delight's. My review of Delight's Stars EP full beat tape. Hopefully you enjoyed it. As I said before, please do go show some love to Delight via various social medias and SoundCloud. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. I'll catch you next review. Spider hands out.